Hello students. In last class we had seen the circuit for generation of impulse voltages. Okay, so we had seen with the Mark circuit, right, which was the Mark circuit and the modified form of Mark circuit. Okay, so today we'll see the generation of impulse currents. Okay, we had seen the components of multi-stage impulse generator circuit also, right. This circuit we use to check the voltage. Okay, now see, when the lightning discharges, okay, lightning discharges, these are the transients or the discharges, okay, which affect our transmission lines and the high voltage apparatus which are placed at the outdoor, right, which involve both high voltage impulses and high current impulses. So that Mark circuit which we had done in the last video was my circuit required to generate high voltage impulse, so that the high voltage apparatus which I want to set up in the outdoor is to be tested first in the lab. Okay, now the apparatus has to be tested for high voltage impulse also and the high current impulse also. Okay, so here in this case, right, when the lightning discharges are involved and it is having both as I said, high voltage impulse and high current impulses, right, the protective gear what we talk about, like surge diverters, have to discharge the lightning currents without damaging the equipments. Okay, so therefore generation of the impulse current waveforms, okay, of the magnitude of nearly say 100 kiloamperes, okay, find application in the test work, right. As I said, it is required for the testing of the apparatus, okay, which is to be placed outdoors. Okay, now see, for producing impulse currents of large value, a bank of capacitors is connected in parallel and charged to a specific value and are discharged through a series RL circuit. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, now here C represents bank of capacitors which are connected in parallel. Okay, these are the capacitor banks connected in parallel like this. Okay, which are charged from a DC source to a voltage up till 200 kilovolts. Okay, right. C represents a bank of capacitors connected in parallel which are charged from a DC source of up to 200 kilovolts. Okay, here R represents the dynamic resistance of the test object and the resistance of the circuit and the shunt. Okay, L is an air cored high current inductor, usually spiral tube of few turns. Now, if the capacitor is charged to a voltage V, okay, and discharged when the spark gap, you can see the spark gap G here, is triggered, the current Im, right, you have to write the equation for current Im. Okay, so according to KVL, okay, V is equal to total voltage V equals to voltage drop across the resistor, right, plus voltage drop across inductor L dim by dt plus voltage drop across the capacitor 1 by C integration of I into dt. Okay, now when we solve this, okay, you get the value of Im as V by omega L e power minus alpha t into sine of omega t. Okay, where alpha is expressed as R by 2L and omega is expressed as square root of L by 1 by LC minus R square by 4L square. So, the time taken for the current Im to rise from the 0 to its first peak value, Okay, that is T1 equals to Tf, which is equal to 1 by omega sine inverse of omega by root LC, which can be written as 1 by omega into tan inverse of omega by alpha. Okay, so the duration for here, right, you get this, right, this is for T1. Okay, similarly the duration for 1/2 cycle of the damped oscillatory wave T2 can be written, okay, can be written as T2 is equal to pi divided by whole root of 1 by LC minus R square by 4L square. Okay, this you have to keep in mind. Okay, so this is what I was telling. So this is how the arrangement of capacitors is done for the high impulse current generation. Okay, you can see the capacitor banks connected in parallel. Okay, these are my capacitor banks which are connected in parallel. Okay, as I said you, number of capacitors are charged, right, in parallel, and these are discharged into the circuit. Okay, the arrangement of capacitors is I have shown you there the combined capacitor bank. Here I have shown you how exactly it is done. Okay, so see, right, for producing of large values of impulse currents, a number of capacitors are charged in parallel and are discharged in a parallel into the circuit. Okay, unlike multi-stage, discharging was in series, but here it is in parallel only. Okay, the arrangement of capacitors is as shown in this figure. Okay, the first figure. In order to minimize the effective inductance, the capacitors are subdivided into smaller units. Okay, now if there are n1 group of capacitors, each consisting of n2 units, and if L0 is the inductance of the common discharge path, L1 is that of each group and L2 is that of each unit. Okay, then the effective inductance L can be given as L0 plus L1 by N1 plus L1 by N1 dot N2. Okay, now the essential parts of this impulse generator circuit are, right, first one is my DC charging unit, which is giving a variable voltage into the capacitor bank. Then I have some capacitors of having the value 0.5 to 5 microfarad each, with very low self inductance and capable of giving high short circuit currents. Okay, I have an additional air cored inductor of high current value. Okay, I have the proper shunts and oscillogram for measurement purpose, and I have a triggering unit. Triggering unit is required to trigger the spark gap for the initiation of the current generator. Okay, okay, understood how we generate the impulse currents, right? Next we'll see what is, see here we were telling triggering is required, right, so that the initiation of the spark occurs and the gap starts conducting, so that tripping occurs. Okay, now we'll see how the tripping of impulse generator take place. Okay, so in a large impulse generator, the spark gaps are generally the spear gaps. I told you, right, we can use the word either spear gaps or spark gaps. Okay, so spear gaps or spark gaps formed by the hemispherical electrodes. Okay, the gaps are arranged such that the sparking of one gap results in automatic sparking of other gaps as overvoltage is impressed on the other gap. Okay, so in order to have the consistency in sparking, irradiation from an ultraviolet lamp is provided from the bottom to all the gaps, right? So ultraviolet lamp which can trigger the sphere gaps is my additional circuitry which is required. Okay, now to trip the generator at a predetermined time, the spark gaps may be mounted on a movable frame and a gap distance is reduced by moving the movable electrodes closer, right? This thing we have seen when I was explaining you our HV labs, right? HV lab I was explaining you to test the breakdown strength of air. We had an option to reduce the gap length by moving the electrodes. Okay, so this method is bit difficult and does not assure consistent and controlled tripping. Okay, so a most simple method of controlling tripping consists of making a first gap a 3 electrode gap. Instead of 2 electrode, we go for a 3 electrode gap and firing it from a controlled source. Okay, so I'll show you figure. So see, this is a figure. Okay, so as you can see, the first stage is fitted with a 3 electrode gap. Okay, once you give the supply here, this is the first stage which is having 3 electrode gap. The central electrode is maintained at a potential in between. See, this is your central electrode. Okay, just a minute. Okay, see, this is my central electrode. So the central electrode is maintained at a potential between that of top and the bottom electrodes with the help of resistors R1. Okay, so okay, with the help of resistor R1. Okay, I said the first stage of the impulse generator is fitted with a 3 electrode gap and the central electrode is maintained at a potential in between that of the top and the bottom electrodes with the resistors R1. Okay, now the tripping is initiated by applying a pulse to a thyratron gap G by closing the switch S. Okay, now here if you see, okay, here it is said that, see, the tripping is initiated. Okay, tripping I have to do, right? So the tripping is initiated by applying a pulse to the thyratron. Okay, so here is my thyratron G, right? So this tripping is initiated by applying a pulse to thyratron G by closing this switch S. Okay, I have to close the switch S. Okay, so what happens? The capacitor C, which you can see here, when you close the switch S, the capacitor C produces an exponentially decaying pulse of positive polarity. Okay, so this pulse goes and initiates oscilloscope time based circuit. Okay, it goes and initiates the oscilloscope time based circuit. Okay, because of which the thyratron G conducts, right, on receiving the pulse from S and produces a negative pulse through the capacitance C1 at the central electrode of the 3 electrode gap. Okay, that is why the voltage between the central electrode and the top electrode of the 3 electrode gap goes above its sparking potential. Okay, because of which this gap becomes conductive. Okay, so whatever I have said, it's written here. The capacitor C produces an exponentially decaying pulse of positive polarity. Okay, so the pulse goes and initiates the oscilloscope time base. The thyratron conducts on receiving the pulse from switches and produces negative pulse through the capacitance C1 at the central electrode of the 3 electrode gap. Hence the voltage between the central electrode and the top electrode goes beyond the breakdown potential and this gap starts conducting. Now here right? The time lag required for the thyratron firing and the breakdown of 3 electrode gap. It means the time when you have initiated the firing through thyratron and the breakdown of the 3 electrode gap ensures that the sweep circuit of the oscilloscope. Okay, so you can see here I have the sweep circuit here. Okay, so that the time lag, this time lag ensures that the sweep circuit of the oscilloscope begins well before the start, okay, begins before the start of the impulse generator voltage. Okay, so the resistance R2 which is placed here ensures decoupling of voltage oscillations produced at the spark gap entering the oscilloscope through common trip circuit. Okay, so the 3 electrode gap which we are talking, okay, requires larger space, okay, and it's bit complicated to go for its construction. Okay, so what is done is a more simple circuit is designed, okay, and which requires much smaller voltage for operation as compared to the 3 electrode gap. Okay, this is called as a trigatron gap. Okay, instead of 3 electrode gap we go for trigatron gap. Okay, so a trigatron gap, the a trigatron gap consists of a high voltage spherical electrode of suitable size, an earthed main electrode of spherical shape, right, and a trigger electrode through the main electrode. Okay, so you can see here this is one electrode, okay, which is my high voltage electrode. This is one electrode which is an earthed electrode, and this is my third electrode which is trigger electrode. So there are again 3 electrodes. So the trigger electrode is a metal rod with an annular clearance of about 1 mm fitted into the main electrode through a bushing. Okay, so you can see the bushing. So the trigatron is connected. Okay, this is your trigatron, right? So the trigatron is connected to a pulse circuit as you can see here. Okay, so tripping of the impulse generator is effected by a trip pulse which produces a spark between the trigger electrode and the earthed sphere. It means, see, this is the trigger electrode and this is the earthed sphere. Okay, so right. See, tripping of the impulse generator is effected by the trip pulse which produces a spark between the trigger electrode and the earthed sphere. Due to the space charge effects, the distortion of the field in the main field, spark over of the main gap occurs. Okay, so main gap, spark over of this is the main gap. Okay, this is the main gap between the high voltage electrode, earthed electrode and the high voltage electrode, right? So the trigatron gap is polarity sensitive and a proper polarity pulse should be applied for the correct operation. Okay, right? So we have to take care that trigatron gap is properly designed, right? Because the whole operation of this trigatron gap and the tripping circuit decides the generation of impulse the operation of impulse generators. Okay.